Okay, cut the wire. No, not that one. No, not that one, the gray one. No, not the gray one with the stripe. The other gray one. Yeah. Oh, why did you cut it?
What is this, you may ask? Well, this is a new engine for the go-kart. So, this is an old generator I've got laying around that no longer makes power. 7.5 horsepower Duramax. It was a 4,500 watt generator. Not much to it. It is extremely quiet because that's a full-grown muffler in there. That's probably going to wind up going on my good generator that makes a lot of noise. So that's a part we're going to save. Like I said, the generator no longer makes power. It cut out on me with the last hurricane that I used it, which was roughly 3 years ago. So this generator has sat for 3 years with the same fuel in it. It does have electric start. That's not currently connected. However, it should run. Let's find out. Before starting this generator, I did verify that it had oil in it. It had the proper level of oil in it. It didn't look too terrible, but it's good enough to run it on just to get it started. We'll change it later before we put it on the go-kart. Try choking it. Well, how do you like that? A little bit of smoke. She started right up. You can see, even though this generator runs perfectly fine, it just doesn't make any power whatsoever. But it's got a perfectly running engine. 7 horse? I think that'll work fine on the go-kart. So here we go. We got it up on the table. I want to start by getting all these panels off of the top of it and maybe getting the fuel tank off of it. We're going to see. Let's see how it goes. Who needs the right tool for the job? I am the right tool for the job. I'm keeping these panels. They could be handy for something. So it looks like the fuel tank is just kind of sitting in there. Yeah, it is. It really is. I don't know how to get it out of there. Wow, that's brittle, to say the least. No, don't turn on. And remove. Does this gas tank come out? Ooh, I bet you it's these right here. Duh. They're in angry mode. Yeah. Now we can get this out. Oh, take the cap off. There's no danger of spilling gasoline, is there? Nah, couldn't be. We'll get that cap back on there as soon as possible. Just because, you know, fate. It actually fits really nicely. I think that might be the fuel tank. All right, there we go. Now we can get a better look at this engine. When it was running earlier, the governor is actually connected, so it actually works. This engine has a tilted cylinder. It is also overhead valve. Connected to that generator. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I think the first thing should be removing that exhaust. Let's go with that. That muffler is in really good shape, honestly, for being as old as it is. Actually. All right. One muffler. Good gasket. It came off in one piece. I'm going to leave that gasket on there with the bolts. That way I don't lose them. Would you look at that? Well, there it is in all its glory. Finally got it out of the frame. Need to get this generator part off of this motor so I can figure out whether or not I can even put a clutch on this to put on the go-kart. Let's see. The infamous 10mm. Percussive maintenance. Oh, well, glad I'm not trying to save this. Ta-da! What are you looking at? Well, that's what's broken. Is just like this. So this bolt is connected, of course, to the crank. So gonna have to get that at least because there's a bearing behind it. I'm assuming that's all that's holding it together. I've never taken one of these apart before. I don't know. It's gonna take some percussive maintenance. Gentle percussive maintenance. What am I connected to? Oh, I guess I gotta undo all the wires. Let's get a look down inside this thing. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's see how we can get it off of here. I've never done this, so if I'm doing this wrong, whatever. Cool. So I got to get the stator off from the outside of the rotor. And since I've pulled this bolt out and gotten the power head off the end of it, I should be able to just pry this off. Got a little gap here. Yeah. There's nothing really holding it. I think that was it. Look at that. We have our bolt cut. Hopefully this should be the right length. Let's see if we can get this thing off of here. Slide that down in there. And that is just simply something for this to press against to pull this rotor off. So let's hope this works. Okay, I think I got it. Couple little love taps. One removed stator. There's the tapered shaft that we can put a clutch on. I'm sure all of this housing is going to be in the way, but that's what a grinder is for. So let's test fit it on the go-kart and see how it looks. Oh, please fit. This way? Oh, yeah. That's gonna fit. Might have to do something weird with the exhaust right there. It's gonna have to come over this way a little more, I think. Depending on the clutch, but that's well on the motor plate, the existing motor plate, so hopefully I don't have to put a new motor plate on there. But that's gonna fit. That's gonna fit nicely. Get a little more closer look. You can see that once I get a clutch on there, it should line up pretty good with the existing sprocket, which I'll probably change the sprocket. It's definitely getting a new chain. This housing is going to have to be trimmed out to allow for the chain to travel through, but I think the top of it will make a nice chain guard. It can't come off because that plate holds that plate holds the bearing seal, and it's also the backing plate for the motor, so it's going to stay, but I think a little modification, it should work. Now the other issue I found is the pull start is facing the wrong way. It's facing forward. However, there's another hole here that's positioned the right way, so I think I can just rearrange the pull start from there to here so that it pulls that way. That would be ideal. Shouldn't be a problem.